Hey friends, today we're going to talk about channel 214 in human design. This is called the channel of the beat or the heartbeat, and it's located between gate 2 in the identity center and gate 14 in the sacral center. And from a leadership perspective, I think this channel is fascinating because this is leadership through direction and through resources. So if you have the 214 channel defined in your human design profile, here's what I'd like you to know. You carry an internal sense of direction. And when you're moving in the direction that feels right to you, you have tremendous energy and resources available to actually move things forward. And here's the important part. You're not necessarily here to figure out the direction with your mind. You're really here to feel your direction, feel your way into where you're supposed to go, the way that feels right for you. And you're very much designed to follow your own direction, not someone else's. Gate 2 is located in the identity center, and if you have this gate activated, you'll feel this energy even if you don't have the full channel. This gate is sometimes called the gate of the receptive or the way shower, and this gate's energy is all about direction. However, there's something really interesting about this gate. Gate 2 isn't necessarily trying to make direction happen. It's very receptive to direction and showing others the way to go. There's almost a sense of when I'm aligned, I know where I'm supposed to go. And then we have gate 14 in the Sacral Center. And gate 14 is sometimes called the gate of power skills. And it carries this energy for resources, including the ability to generate resources and then direct those resources towards something meaningful. If you have this gate activated, you're going to feel this. And resources aren't just money. Resources can be time, energy, talent, relationships, opportunities, knowledge, and yes, money too. And so when gate 2 and 14 come together, you have something really powerful. Direction connected to resources. It's not simply, I know where I'm going. It's, I know where I'm going and I have the energy and the resources to help us get there. That's leadership. You can have a powerful relationship with resources. And one of the things I want my 214 clients to understand is that there may be a very natural relationship with resources here. And sometimes that gets reduced to, oh, gate 14 is the money gate. And I think that's way too simplistic because the real question isn't, can I make money? The more important question when you have this gate defined is, what direction are my resources supporting? You can have tremendous energy for creating resources when you're engaged in something that feels right to you. However, if you're continually pouring your energy or your time, your talents, your money into a direction that isn't yours, you can become deeply frustrated because this channel isn't designed to use resources simply for the sake of accumulating more resources. That can become very unstable and everything can just fall apart. There needs to be a direction behind those resources. There needs to be something your energy is actually moving towards. Your leadership may not look like traditional leadership. The 214 is not necessarily standing at the front of the room saying, hey, everybody, follow me. In fact, you may not always be able to explain exactly how you know where something needs to go because it's innate and natural for you. You may simply sense, this is the direction. And when you trust that inner direction, other people can begin to move with you. And that's an important distinction. You don't necessarily lead by convincing people that your direction is the right one. You lead by being aligned with your own direction. And people can feel that. Remember, human design is energy, and I know I say this in every single one of my recordings, but it is. And when you're aligned to your energy and moving towards something that feels right for you, there can be a natural momentum around you. You can become someone who helps move people forward, move businesses and families and organizations or even ideas towards a new direction simply because you're moving that way yourself. You're here to empower direction. And I also think there's an important leadership lesson in Gate 14. Resources create power. Think about this in business. The person who determines where the money goes has tremendous influence over the direction of the entire organization. Where do we invest? What do we need to stop funding? Who do we need to hire? What projects get our time and attention? And what are we saying yes to? Those are resource decisions. And resource decisions ultimately become directional decisions. So if you have the 214 channel, you may have an instinct for recognizing where resources need to go to support the right direction. And that can make you incredibly valuable in leadership. However, you have to be careful about giving your resources away. Here's one of the places where I think this channel gets into trouble. You may have a lot of energy because with this channel, you are either a generator or a manifesting generator because this channel is connected to the Sacral Center. And with that, you have this amazing renewable life force energy. And you can have great skills and you may be capable of generating great resources. And other people may recognize you for that, which means they may also want access to you and your resources, your time, your energy, your connections, your ideas, your money. And just because you have the resources doesn't mean every person, every opportunity, business, or cause deserves access to those resources. And this is where your strategy and authority become incredibly important because the question isn't, can I do this? You probably can do a lot of things. The question is this the right direction for my energy? That's a very different question. So the challenge of the 214 channel, and of course, every strength has its challenge, is this. Are you trying to mentally determine where you're supposed to go? Are you trying to think yourself forward? You might look around and think, what should I be doing? What's the smartest opportunity here? Or where is everybody else going? What's the most profitable direction? However, your direction isn't necessarily going to come from analyzing what everyone else is doing. And it certainly doesn't mean that the most conventional or logical path is the correct path for you. Remember, this is a very individual channel. And there's something that's very uniquely yours about the direction that you're here to move in. So if you continually abandon your own direction to follow someone else's, you're actually disconnecting from one of your greatest leadership gifts. Also, leadership doesn't mean knowing the entire road. And I think this is especially important for the 214. Knowing your direction doesn't mean you know every single step from here to there. Sometimes you simply know, I need to go this way. And you may not have the entire map. You may not know exactly how it's all going to unfold. You may not be able to explain it logically to everybody around you, and that's okay. Your job isn't necessarily to see 20 steps ahead. Your job is to recognize the direction that's right now and allow your energy and your resources to begin moving with that energy. And then the next direction can reveal itself. So if you lead with the 214, stop asking what direction would make the most sense for everybody else and start paying attention to where does my energy naturally want to go? Notice what brings energy to your body, or better yet, since you're a generator or a manifesting generator, what brings me satisfaction? Notice what opportunities seem to open resources rather than continually drain them, especially your biggest resource, which is your own energy. Notice where your skills seem to become useful almost effortlessly. And notice where you're trying to force yourself down a road simply because someone told you that's where success lives, because your leadership isn't about following the road everyone else is traveling. This is the theme of human design. You're unique. No one else is like you. And this is about being aligned enough to recognize your road, and then having the wisdom to put your resources behind it. Because when your direction and your resources come together, bam, you don't just move forward, you create this momentum that can move others forward too. And that is the leadership of the 214 channel. It's powerful. Leadership isn't one size fits all, and neither are you. So tell me in the comments if you have this channel, and follow and subscribe for more tips on human design.